Hey, what's up guys? Alright, I'm going to show you how to make a minnow trap today. Basically you just need a knife with a good point on it, empty plastic bottle, doesn't even necessarily need the cap, a small rock, and a piece of string cordage. And to make this easy, I had two identical bottles that I found. Obviously the person who discarded these was drinking the same thing. So basically all you do is you cut the neck off. Okay? Now the thing about that is you have to get a good cut. If you cut it too far, this won't fit in there. If you cut this too narrow, too short, it'll fit too loosely. So these bottles tend to taper, and it doesn't matter, this is a liquor bottle, but plastic, but it could be a traditional water bottle. You want to cut it right where it starts to taper, not at the peak of the taper or after the taper, but right kind of in the middle almost. So you make that cut, you basically just saw through, cut it flat. Take your lid off. You can do this before or after. It's probably easier before because it has more structural strength. But then you burrow 4 holes, one here and here, same on the back side. Now that serves 2 purposes. Number 1, it will allow air pockets, air bubbles, which easily get trapped, to escape. And this will keep it full of water and allow it to stay submerged without having a ballast to pull it up out of the water. And then also, it's kind of like, you know, catching an animal and putting holes in a box or something. It's air holes. It'll allow the water to flow through more easily. So, you know, they'll, I guess, be healthier or live longer while they're trapped in there. Not that that'll really matter, but it could. So either way, you're cutting the holes for air escaping. And then all you do is just take it, put it back the other way, and it'll slide right in there snugly. See, you heard it click. So that's really secure. You want to put a rock in there too. It can just be a small rock, and that'll keep it from drifting. If you don't want to do that, you can always put something on top of it once it's in the water. So you just pop that in. So even with the rock hitting, it's not going to come out. And it's kind of cloudy because it's so dirty, but the fish are going to swim in, and they're going to keep trying to swim to the back, or they're going to cut back around and get caught up in here. They're not going to necessarily know to go straight into the middle and out again. So that's how the trap works. Yes, a couple will figure it out, and you'll get some swimming back and forth freely, but generally you're going to catch quite a few with this. And then your string, what you can do with that, this one isn't particularly shaped well for tying string around because it's kind of a flatter shape, but you can drill another hole like right on the rim here, like that. And then just stick your cordage through, tie that off, whatever knot you want. Okay, and that's going to allow you to cast that out. And I recommend having another stick, like a hiking stick or whatever. So once you cast it out, you can reach the stick out if it's far and push it down to wherever you want and position it. Obviously, if you're doing it like right close to the shore, it doesn't matter, you just place it with your hand. You can still use this as a tie off to keep this from floating away, or shouldn't float, but it might drift away. So that's your tie out. I've seen some people, and they'll like cut holes and put sticks in to keep that in. It's not necessary, unless yours was particularly loose or something, but just the friction should hold it in. So that's pretty much all you need for a minnow trap. Alright, thanks for watching. What's up, guys? Doing some minnow fishing. And we're using those the water bottles that you just cut the lid off and invert them. I did one there with the Gatorade, and then I have a regular water bottle over here. Now I had them set out for about 3 days right here. And it's kind of in a deeper part, and there's minnows everywhere. Didn't catch anything. So I noticed that things are kind of drying out and the water's getting shallower, and they're kind of funneled into certain areas, and the moss and algae is kind of forcing them to go certain places. So I tied the bottle to a string so I could kind of throw it out there, and then just tamped it down with my stick, and you can already see a bunch of minnows in there fluttering around. And that was literally within 60 seconds they were in there. So I had 3 days of it being here, just sitting by itself, and then 60 seconds and I have multiple minnows in it, just because of placement. So it's not that the traps don't work, it's they have to be placed strategically. So let's pull it out here and see what we got. Key is to get it without dumping the minnows. See, oh, there's a whole bunch. There's a big one. There's at least 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. One big one. I don't know if we can get the light in here. Maybe best is to backlight it like that. So just a ton of minnows in there. So this is one of those things that that's why we have dirt time. Because I mean, how hard is it to watch a video on a freaking water bottle minnow trap? All you do is cut the top off and put it in backwards. Yeah, I put some bait in there, I put a piece of apple, but that didn't matter. It's all about placing it somewhere where it's going to have a strong likelihood of funneling fish into it. So where it was, they didn't really have a choice. It's so shallow, they're kind of panicking because they don't have enough area to swim. So they'll just swim wherever. And I had faced that directly towards where the minnows were. I'm sure this other one could probably sit there for another 5 days and won't catch anything. But I caught 5 minnows in less than 2 minutes. And if I kept doing that, so that's I guess an active trap or active fishing. We're actually using it as like a fishing lure and casting it out there and just kind of scooping them up. Not really scooping them, but letting them flow in. Versus passive, where you just set it down and hope they come in. So it's obviously a lot more effective doing it this way. See, oh, that was a big one. Big one right there. Yeah, there's 6, 7 in there actually. So, you know, survival situation. And I just found that bottle just laying on the ground out here. There's a lot of trash because it's a floodplain and everything washes up in here. And there's hundreds of minnows in here. So you could either eat those or you could use them as bait for something bigger. I've not seen any big fish in here, but maybe for like ducks or something. If you had to try to catch those, you use the fish as bait. There's a bunch of them right in that same spot. So I just wanted to show you what I learned about the minnow trap. And that was definitely a learning experience. But thanks for watching. Alright, so what I did here, I took my other minnow trap, which wasn't the good one, and I screwed the top back on, poured the minnows in here, and it makes a pretty sealed container. It's not going to splash a lot. It's only got one little opening right there, and that allowed me to transport the minnows without having to like balance the glass basically and not spill it. So I take that out, and then I've got my pot here, which I also found out just laying out, and I'm going to make an aquarium, or really just a temporary minnow holder. And one of them died when I tried to transfer them because it got smashed on the rock. But we'll take a look at it here. See if we can get the sun angled in. It's a big one. So it's a lot more than I thought. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I caught about 8 or 9 total. And when I reset it, as soon as I reset it, there was already more in there. So I'm gonna leave that one overnight and see if they actually stay caught, like if there's a whole bunch or if there's just maybe a certain amount that it maxes out at and they start escaping again. So we'll see. But this pot allows me to just hold these guys. And like I said, it's kind of like the live bait or live game, never spoils type thing. They can just stay in there for a while. I'll probably let them go in another area of the creek here. But if you needed them, or you're going to save up a bunch and dry them out or something and eat them later, you could use a container like this. Because out here, I'm not going to cook with this. I don't know where it's been, and I don't really need to be cooking out here. If I did, I'd just bring my own mess kit and stuff. But it goes to show that even when you're just out messing around, you can use found items for some utilitarian purpose. Yeah, it looks like they really like the shade because they're all gathering in the shade here. So I'll put them in a shady area and just let them sit. Maybe just test it, see how long they can live in there. Because there's tons of these minnows in that section of the creek. So it's not like it's any big loss if these die. And those little ones, I don't even know. There was there's an inchworm right on the side down here. So if they get hungry, maybe they'll eat that. I don't really know what these guys eat, so maybe I can catch some mosquitoes and throw them in there. We'll see. I'm just kind of messing around and glad I figured out how these minnow traps work. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Alright, we got another batch of minnows. Looks like they're filling up in there. I see them splashing around. Haul them off. Let's see what we got here. Oh wow. There's probably 20 in there. Take our bait off there. Our top. And we'll transfer them over. Ton of them. Still like 3 or 4 left. Seems like that rock causes some problems. Come on, get away from the rock, guys. He didn't want to go. I wonder if they eat the dead ones. Ton of them there. So set this over out safe to the side. And we really don't even need the bait because they're not attracted to it for some reason. So we just close the top on. I don't want it to pop out when I throw it out there. I may not get it back. And then it's just like, it's like a freaking fishing pole. That wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah, you gotta fill it up with water first, because there's an air pocket in there. It's hard to get out because of the way that thing's shaped. So get the air pocket out. And then let's give ourselves a slip knot. Attach it to the short part of that stick, narrow part, secure on there hopefully. Should be pretty good. Frog just jumped in there. So once we do that, what we want to do is tamp it down. With our stick to make sure it's down in the water level. It doesn't even have to be all the way submerged. Not sure how good our location was here. See if maybe there's a better spot. Yeah, I think we can do a better spot here. Try this area right there. Too much air. Sucks. That is a good spot, so trying to watch to see if I can see him swim down in there. Oh, now they're swimming all through. Doesn't look like they're going in though. Hard telling. Again, you just gotta find the good spots, because they don't seem to be like funneled as they were. They're definitely swimming by it, but they're just not going in because they have too much area to swim around. Before it was kind of like a pocket, and I put it at the entrance, and they all panicked and swam right in. But now they're just kind of treating it as trash and just swimming by it. They're looking at it. I'm gonna pull it out in a second, see if we got anything on that. And I'll put it back in the other spot. Let's see what we got here. Did we get anything? One, two. We got a couple. Let's see if we can get a better spot happening. Better spot going. There's a spot right there. Oh, I almost had a good. Got a big air bubble in there. That I actually think will be good. So we'll just reset there, leave that for a while, see what happens.